Hey friends, Amanda here with the Happy Homestead, and it's been a while since we've been in the kitchen. Probably about a month now since we ended the pantry challenge. And so took a little break. It was a much needed break, but I want to share with you what we're going to do for dinner tonight, because it is always my goal to share something new and possibly exciting, but also just some really good, healthy, nourishing dinner ideas that sometimes might take a little bit more effort, and others like tonight that won't. And so tonight we're having very simple dinner, and you could do this with chicken too. We are gonna have salmon. It's just me and the kids, so I've got 2 pieces of salmon pulled out. But what I'm gonna explain, you can easily do with chicken breasts or chicken thighs. I've got 2 large sweet potatoes. I'm actually gonna cook these in my Instant Pot. So total hack here for busy parents or anyone who's really busy and doesn't have a whole lot of time to cook healthfully. The Instant Pot is sometimes my best friend in the kitchen. I use it to cook hard-boiled eggs. So easy, so fast. Potatoes, both sweet potatoes and regular potatoes. Beans, always some sort of bean. And then at least once a week we're using it for some sort of stew, soup, or chili. It is just the easiest thing to do. And so for potatoes, like a baked potato, I'm gonna throw these in, put them on the rack in the Instant Pot with a little water, and I'll probably put it in for about 20 minutes, and I can just let it go, natural release, natural vent, all on its own, and then you have the most perfectly cooked potatoes. So I'm going to be doing the sweet potatoes in the Instant Pot. I also have 1 little lone zucchini in the refrigerator. I'm gonna slice this up, saute it with maybe 1/2 of an onion, salt, pepper. We are going to pan fry the salmon. You could certainly bake it. I find that pan frying is actually a lot quicker, and it is tasty. I also have about 1/2 quart of beef bone broth that was sitting in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna use that, the appropriate amount needed, to cook some rice. I'll probably cook about 1, maybe 1.5 cups of wild rice. So far nothing really exciting, right? Salmon, zucchini with onions, wild rice, and sweet potatoes. Certainly healthy. This is the thing that's gonna make it a little bit different, I'm excited about. This is a green tomato curry. This is what it's called. I actually got the recipe from that 1870s Homestead, and I made this in October of 2022, so not that long ago. I think I ended up with about 4 quarts and 4 pints, and 2 pints are already gone, so I only have 2 more of these left. And it was the recipe they came up with, they kind of just did it on their own, but it was a way to use up a lot of the green tomatoes at the end of the season. And so I'm trying to remember everything that's in here, but it's the green tomatoes. There's a lot of like coriander. I think there's some cumin, ginger, and I had to get some kefir lime leaves, galangal root, like a lot of these really exotic flavors. I will post the video down below of where I learned how to make it from them. And I'm definitely doing this again this year, the end of this year. So I'm basically gonna cook my salmon, and I'm gonna use this sauce as an accompaniment. So I might actually put it in the pan with the salmon, not sure yet, and we'll put it all together. So easy, so quick, so healthy. Now, I realize that not everyone's gonna have a jar of home canned green tomato curry on hand. So this is where you can get a little creative on your own too. So if you like the Thai food flavors, you could absolutely use a can of coconut milk, and the little containers or little jars of like the red curry paste, or the yellow curry paste, or the green curry paste. You could easily do something like that. And if that's not to your liking, honestly, a pan-seared salmon that is appropriately spiced with like salt and pepper, garlic powder, maybe onion powder, maybe a little dill or parsley, it can go a long way too. So let's get dinner going.
Did you look up on the internet?
Oh yeah, I remember, yeah.
What was it?
Let me tell you. Give me a second.
Okay, I gotta go. I love you,
I'm
bro.
gonna look it up while you're gone
Okay, so I just chopped up half of an onion, that one zucchini. I added about a tablespoon of butter, freshly cracked pepper, Redmond real salt. I'm just gonna saute this and then take it out of the pan and cook the salmon. I also have 2 cups of my bone broth here on the stove. I'm gonna get that warmed up and I'm gonna put about a cup of the wild rice in once that's boiling. So I think the trick to really having a dinner on the table quickly with as minimal effort as possible is to really utilize the different types of cooking methods, shall I say. For example, remember we talked about the Instant Pot, right? So I've got the potatoes in there, they've got 11 minutes left. I literally just put them in, set the machine, nothing else I had to do. The rice is also one of those things that I think can be nutritious. I'm not really a big fan of white rice. We either do brown or wild rice like we're having tonight. So again, I just have to get the broth or the water boiling, add the rice in, turn the burner down, and I can just kind of leave it. And so that's 2 things, right? 2 sides that are just kind of done and taken care of. And so really after I saute these onions and zucchini, then I'm going to put the salmon in. The salmon cooks so quickly. And again, if you were to do this with chicken breasts, I'd probably maybe just kind of pound out the chicken breasts a little bit to make them thinner. And that way they cook a little easier and quicker too. I put an extra half cup of water in here. So I have a total of 2.5 cups of liquid. Normally with rice, I do about 1 1/4 cups of liquid to 1 cup rice. And that's for brown rice. Now with wild rice, the ratio is just slightly different. So I'm doing about 1.5 cups of wild rice to the 2.5 cups liquid. So once the water is, or the liquid's really hot, you get your rice in. I turn my burner down to low, about a 1 or a 2, and then just let it sit. All right, so I took the zucchini and the onions out, put a little olive oil in the pan, and now I'm putting the salmon fillets face down. So to me, when I do salmon on the stovetop like this, it really is the easiest thing. It is so fast, and I always start skin side up, the meat side down. Let that go for a few minutes, and then I'll flip it, add my salt, pepper, sometimes dill. This time I'm gonna add garlic powder. So at this point, the sweet potatoes are done, but the valve, safety valve hasn't dropped, or the pressure valve in the Instant Pot yet. So I'm just gonna leave those. The salmon is done. I have turned the burner off. The curry sauce in there is simmering all around it and getting it good and delicious, but I don't need to eat it yet. I don't wanna take it out yet because our rice is still cooking. So that's the only thing left on the burner. I'm just gonna relax. I've already got the zucchini and onions on the plates, and we'll just add everything to it. also pulled out a Bordeaux Blanc from Dry Farm Wines. This is a 70% Sauvignon Blanc, 30% Semillon, and this is from France. Dinner is done. Not the prettiest plating, but healthy and delicious nonetheless.
Thank you for watching Happy Homestead.
And it came together relatively quickly. So thanks for joining us today on our family dinner, our quick and family dinner. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Stay healthy, stay well.
Can you hold me up, Mommy?
Yeah. Jump. We go. Jump.
Down at the tree.
Bon appetit.
Yeah.